Well, I'll go to Shom Machshava on the Daf Shir's Lilu Nishmas, my wife's grandfather, Reb Zev ben Tzvi Halevi Zatzal, who is nifter this week. We're holding in Menachos Daf Yutes. The Gemara mentions two inyonim based on Reb Shimon. One is that you learn Shechita v'in Smicha. The same way Smicha doesn't have to be done by the Kohen, it's done by the owner. So Shechita can be done by Zar. Shechita doesn't have to be done by the Kohen. The Gemara says if you learn Shechita from Smicha, so maybe it has to be done by the owner. Shechita is learned from Smicha. So the same with the Smicha needs to be done by the Baa'lim, also Shechita needs to be done by the Baa'lim. Says the Gemara, we have a special limud you learn from Yom Kippurim. It does not have to be done by the Baa'lim, it can be done by anybody. Now when we learn this in Zohar in Tav Lamed Beis, that Shechita is Ksher B'Zar, we brought there the Zohar HaKadosh, Chelagim Adaf Kuf Chof Dal Amud Aleph, where the Zohar there writes that V'shochat is ben Habokar, V'shochat Achor V'lav Kohano. The Shochat needs to be somebody else, not the Kohen. The Kohano Osir Le Bedino begin to live Kohen Behu Osir De'achid Be. It should not be a Kohen doing Shechita. As before she bring, the Pshat is, a Kohen belongs to Midas HaChesed, and Shechita is Midas Adin, it's judgment, and Kohen doesn't belong there, so he should not do Shechita. And the first are very bothered by this, because the Choro, we never find that Shechita is also with the Kohen. Shechita could be done by Azar, but now that's also by a Kohen. And out the Rabbi, we have the Gemara in Brochas Daf Lamed Aleph by Shmuel HaNavi that when he came to Beis Hamikdash, he saw that they were looking for a Kohen to do Shechita. So told him Shmuel, Shechita Ksher B'Zar, you don't have to look for a Kohen. So the first already are bothered why they were looking for a Kohen. What was the purpose of looking for a Kohen? And based on Toys and Kiddushin, how I involved, the first explain that even though you don't have to have a Kohen, but still they wanted to have a Kohen. But Kupon, we see from here that a Kohen could do Shechita. So what does the Zohar mean that the Kohen can do Shechita? So the Kuti Yehuda brings the name of the Imre Emes, Tenechanami. There's a Isser for a Kohen, but it's not a Isser Meferish in the Gemara, but it's a Isser based on Inyanim that have to do with Kabbalah. And that was the Chiddush of Shmuel HaNavi. When Shmuel HaNavi came to the Mishkan and he sees Eli, he tells them, I know that you're looking for a Kohen because it's a mile by a Kohen, but it's a Fushim Yisur. You should know it's not proper for the Kohen. That's why he did it. Even the Gemara there explains that the problem that Shmuel did, he was Moira HaRabbi B'nei Rabbi. What was the reason he was allowed to be Moira HaRabbi B'nei Rabbi? It says the Imre Emes, La Fushim Yisur, he's shiny. The Shem Shmuel brings the name of his father. The avodah of the Kohen is avodah primis, is everything that's to be internal and concealed. Mikabala ve'elach, you put the blood into the kli, then it's a concealed avodah, then it goes in the mizbech, it's something which is hidden. But shechita is done taking the blood from the inside to the outside. So it's the opposite of the avodah of the Kohen. And the Rebbe Elimelech in Pashas Nasoi, he says there's a mashmos here for inyoni avodah, that when a person is davening for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so if he's a big tzaddik, he's a madrega of a Kohen, so he's dealing with inyonim have to do with Kabbalah ve'elach. Things that are very close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But if he's a Zar, he's not a Kohen. So he does Shechita. Shechita means he has to shecht all his taivus, all his tendencies, all his bad traits. So the Sefer Chassidus is basically taking the Zohar that yes, there's an Isser for a Kohen to do Shechita. And even though it's not the mashmos of the Gemara, that's what the Zohar is telling us. Comes the Cheshek Shlomo over here in Menachos and says, Gevaldik, he says, Pshat is like this. Shechita should be done by the Baa'lim. Yes. The Gemara by us tells us that's not me'akiv. It doesn't have to be done by the Baa'lim. It can be done by somebody else. But the fact that Shechita and Smicha are mukash to each other, so from here you learn the lichatchila, the Shechita should be done by the Baa'lim. And he brings a raya, many quote it, that the Gemara in Pesachim of Zayin Amud Beis, it says that Pesach v'Kodshim, Ma'ikele Meima explains the Rashi, Habaylim nitztavu, tichtiv v'somach yodoi v'shochat. Rashi says there clearly that the Baa'lim have to do Shechita. Says the Cheshek Shlomo, that's the Pshat. That's the Pshat in the Zohar. Really, of course, a Kohen could do Shechita, but lechatchila, the one that should do Shechita is the Baa'lim, as our Gemara over here brings, where it says not me'akiv, but lechatchila you should have a Baa'lim. That's why the Zohar says that a Kohen should not do Shechita. And what they always wanted a Kohen to do Shechita, that was only Korbanos Tzibur, that you don't have any other owners. The owners is Am Yisrael. But when you have a Korban Yochid that belongs to an individual, lechatchila, the owner should be the one doing the Shechita. You can add to this what we spoke about in the past. What's the idea of the smicha? The idea of the smicha needs to be done by the owner because the korban represents the adam. So when he's soymich yadov, he's leaning on the korban. He makes the korban be who he is. That's why smicha is me'akib b'baylim. It has to be by the owner because that's how the korban becomes part of him. Shechita is the first stage that a person is makriv himself. He's willing to shecht himself, meaning he's giving a korban in lieu of himself. That part is not me'akev because someone else could do it for him. But lechatchila, a person should be the one who is doing himself, bringing himself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When he's shechting the korban, he should think, I'm the one being shechted. Afterwards, the Shara Avodas, it's already stage 2. That's once he's shechted. What happens with him, the other Kriyanim can do. But the Shechita is a person is willing to be moiser nefesh himself for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the kavanah of a korban. So the chetchila should be done by the Baa'lim. And according to Cheshek Shlomo, that's the pshat in the Zohar that says that a kohen should not be doing Shechita. Anyone who wants to join and sponsor the Shom Machshava Shiurim, please email shommachshava@gmail.com.